everyone. What I thought I would do today was just do a little sit down video with you, just to explain to you how I got involved in manifesting in the law of attraction. How I got introduced into the law of attraction was I came across this book here. Now this is, if a lot of people have probably heard of The Secret. This is my first introduction into finding this book called The Power, which was the follow up to The Secret book. So if anybody has read The Secret, then obviously you'll know a lot about the law of attraction, but this book here was my first introduction into it. And it was one of those things that I kind of came across in quite a strange way. It's almost as if this book was trying to kind of find its way to me at the time. It came about in a way that I was somewhere where I've never been before and came across this book to get it at such a cheap price for £1. And I was just drawn to it, so obviously I had to pick it up and just buy it. After I obviously took it home and had a look through it, I felt as if it was life changing for myself. Something that I've never known about before, the law of attraction, how it works, what you can do with it. It was nothing that I'd ever heard about before. So I was really interested. I was a bit skeptical at first, which I imagine most people will be, because it seems a little easy to just be able to ask for what you want and expect it to, appear. So what I thought I would do was I thought it'd be quite interesting just to try it out of curiosity, because I thought if I just kind of have a bit of fun with it and just see what happens, then it's not taking it too seriously, and I could only gain out of it as opposed to just not doing it at all. So that's what I'd done, and I did try it out for the first month, and I kind of have done it ever since then, because I just felt that everything that I was focused on at the time came about in different kind of ways. And when I actually think back now over everything that I have achieved and actually gained in my life, I feel as if that it is a form of manifesting that maybe a lot of us aren't aware that we're actually doing, and it's kind of almost unconsciously attracting things into our lives. Everything that you have in your life at the moment, at one point in time, you were actually, it was a thought in your mind that you wanted certain things. So whether it's the house you live in, the car you drive, the clothes you wear, relationships you have in your life, the job that you do, all these things were once only thoughts in our mind that we hoped one day, that it was something that we were drawn to, that we hoped we would achieve. So even holidays you've been on, places you've visited, the most important thing is, if you just focus on something you really want, sometimes it will find a way to you. You do have to take action in the process, and obviously a lot of people, when they did read The Secret or The Power, I think it was one of those books and one of those things where they thought it did work for a lot of people. But I think what they did think at the time was that you just sit back and wait for it to fall from the sky into your lap. But you've got to actively be seeking and looking out and taking action towards what it is you want to attract and manifest into your lives. One of the things to really do that is really quite powerful, that it does say in The Power, and I would recommend this to anybody, because for me this was like the game changer. It's one of the books you can go back to time and time again, and just to kind of reaffirm that what you think of you can bring about. But it does say in this book that feeling is everything. So if you can get into the feelings of, if you already have had your wish fulfilled, imagine obviously the feelings that you would feel once you had what you had in your life. So it could be a home, it could be a car, it could be a job, it could be money, it could be in your career, whatever it is, the thing that you want, to have perfect health, to have a certain lifestyle. Just imagine and feel into the feelings that you would experience if somebody could wave a magic wand and say, you can have this. Like, how would that feel if somebody could grant your wish? Feel excited, you would feel grateful, you would feel so happy, you could feel maybe security, just like all the good stuff that you would feel to attract that. Because when your body starts feeling these feelings, it does give out an energy that you're open to receiving what it is that you're looking to achieve, and it kind of gets yourself excited. You then become more open to opportunities and actually noticing things that then give you that feeling, and you think, well, that's going to take me in that direction. I would also say the act as if. So a lot of people maybe just can't imagine them being in the role they want in their life, or they can't imagine having the things they want in their life. But if you act as if and pretend, it's been scientifically proven that your brain doesn't know the difference between if you're imagining and visualizing something or where you're actually doing it for real. It just tries to take you to that place because it can't tell the difference between what's real and what's not, so it'll gravitate and take you towards what you're seeking. So if you can just act as if you already have it, your mind will start to drive you in the direction to get you to where that place will be. You'll start noticing things that you might have once called a coincidence, but you're kind of taught in the law of attraction that there are no coincidences. It is just, signs. Everything's a sign. So if you see something you think, that's a bit strange, that seems like a bit of a coincidence, it's usually a sign trying to kind of give you a message to either move towards it or, turn away from it. So you'll know with your gut instincts, that's what your intuition would tell you, like where that's guiding you to. I would also say that you've got to really come from a positive mindset too, because it's like attracts like. So like with energy, positive attracts positive, negative attracts negative. So if you are stuck in a very negative mindset that you don't, you're always kind of dwelling on the worst and what could go wrong as opposed to what could go right, and surrounding yourself with that kind of energy, one's obviously going to pull you down and not really make you aware of good things when they come along, as opposed to if you're really positive and grateful and happy and feel lucky for all the things you have, more will be given. Whereas if you're in the other mindset of feeling that things are very negative and that everything's a struggle and nothing works out for you, then that's the energy you're just going to continually attract. The other huge thing I would say that is so important when it comes to like manifesting and achieving your dreams and goals, and it says it a lot in this book too, is you just have to believe, like, no matter what your dream and goal is, and no matter how big it is and how you can possibly think in your life this could never possibly happen, you have got to believe to your core that it will. So if you don't believe, it will never happen. So this is the thing, you've just got to kind of imagine that it will happen and just have fun with it. But if you have no belief that you will ever achieve these things, it just won't work. It just won't work for you. So you've got to be so open-minded and just believe, and that is something that takes time to work on. If you feel that maybe you've had a hard time previously, or things have never worked out for you, that's something that you do have to spend time working on to get to that belief that you can do anything and there's no limitations to what you can achieve, what you can have. That's just other people's limiting beliefs that have maybe been put onto yourself through your environment, through school, through the people you surround yourself with. And you've got to know that there are no limits to what you can actually do and accomplish and have. It's only what those limits that you believe in your own mind. Last step of the process is to let go. So sometimes we can spend a lot of time feeling that, oh, we must have this, and when's it coming, and is it going to appear? They tell you to do in manifesting is once you've kind of placed your order, asked for your wish, that's how they would kind of speak it. I would say it's like placing an order. So if you go to a restaurant, this is like an example, place your order clearly, and then you just trust that it's going to come. don't you? You don't go into the kitchen and watch the chef and see what he's doing and make sure he's doing it right and he's got the order right. You just trust that your order will be complete and they will bring it back to you. So that's a kind of example of how you can imagine it would work with this. Like, once you ask for what it is you want, you trust that it will be delivered to you, and you have to let go of any need to control what's going on kind of behind the scenes. Your job is just to ask and just to believe and feel that it's already yours. I would say if you are just getting into the law of attraction and you do feel it is something that you want to learn more about, I would start with something really simple, because I came across this book I think in 2012. So obviously that was 8 years ago now, and I've been practicing it ever since. But this is a great wee book just to kind of start off with. Like, so The Power or The Secret, any of these kind of law of attraction books are really easy and really kind of make it as simplified as possible. I would really encourage you to just give manifesting a chance, because you have nothing to lose and so much to gain. If anybody had told me all the things that I would have manifested from the time that I picked up this book for £1, I would never have believed them. Just so many amazing things. Just have the belief that you can do anything, because anything you've been told before, you know, it's limited thinking, and it's maybe not came from people who have had, you know, these kind of tools and techniques that have been passed on to them to really help them live. You know, you are meant to have an amazing life. This is basically what it is. So don't let anything stop you. This book was actually $14.99, and to think that I got it for £1 is an absolute bargain. So this book found me, and I hope with me just obviously telling you today about how I got introduced to the law of attraction, that this has maybe been a sign that you've been looking for, and this will now get you on your manifesting journey, so you'll be able to attract all the things that you want into your life. And believe that you can, know that they're yours for the taking. You just have to take the action and decide what it is you want. Big thing I would say is write it down. Write down your goals, because it's one of those things, what you look at daily will then show up in your life. There's so much power to seeing it in front of you every day, whereas if you don't write them down, it can be out of sight, out of mind. I hope this was really helpful for you today, and anybody that's interested in learning the techniques about manifesting. I would say that to just obviously check in on my Instagram, Pamela's Life of Wellness, because I'm putting daily posts up on all the different techniques that I've learned through this book and many others that I've read over the last 8 years that are related to this. If you've enjoyed this video, click the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and then I'll know that you like these kind of videos and I'll start making more. If there's any videos you want me to make in relation to beauty or wellness, that's my expertise, but obviously self-development is a huge thing too, because I've immersed myself in that for the last, I'd say even 10 years. I've just been reading so much because I just love to learn how we can be the best versions of ourselves and manifest our best lives and accomplish all our dreams and goals. Hope you all have a lovely day. I'll see you in the next video.